Okay, this video is going to be about the Quattro 4x6 charger from Hobby King. This allows you to charge 4 batteries at once, and it is handy for charging 4 lithium polymer packs and balancing them all at once. So let's just go through and unbox it and do the review. As I'm unboxing it here, the other thing I'm going to do in this video later on is I'm going to go through using a program called Charge Monitor. You have to have an adapter that'll hook up to this charger to be able to use it. But I'll go through how to attach Charge Monitor and use the software and be able to actually watch and graph your batteries as they're being charged. So for right now, let's just go through what's in the box. Obviously we got our Quattro charger. Banana plugs already installed. It comes with one balancing port for thunder power or flight power batteries, and then it comes with one for Eternity type batteries with the JST type connectors. There's 4 parts on a charger, so if you've got all Eternity batteries, you're going to want to get 3 more of these. And if you've got thunder power or flight power, you're going to want to get 3 more of those from Hobby King. Hobby King sells a very similar adapter. It just doesn't have the labeling on it, so I think they're $2 or $3 a piece. So when you order your Quattro charger, make sure you order more of these, because if you don't have all of those, you have to plug the balancing port from your battery directly into the side of the charger, which is kind of a pain. Being able to have these is nice. So they only come with 1 each of those in the kit. Comes with banana plugs and a Futaba connector. Comes with banana plugs and a JST BEC connector. And then we've got banana plugs and a Tamiya connector. Banana plugs and banded wire. I think it's 18 gauge wire, and then banana plugs and alligator clips. The only other thing it comes with is these clips that plug right onto your banana plugs here that allow you to connect it to a car battery or something like that. It's just come off like that. So that's what's in the kit. Next thing we'll do is we'll go through turning the charger on and attaching a battery. Okay, so what we're going to do is plug in our charger first of all. I have my little handy dandy modded power supply over here. Turn that on. Stick that off to the side. It powers up. Next thing we're going to have to do is I use all Dean's connectors in all my batteries. So the funny thing is it didn't come. None of those adapters came with a T connector, so I had to make my own wires for Dean's connectors. So I'm just going to plug in my banana plugs from my Dean's connector. Then you go on the side of the charger and you see the 4 different charger plugs and then balancing ports. So it's well labeled. Negative goes over to the far right, and then you just look at your negative wire and you plug that in. I got my balancing port. It goes through the same for all the rest of them. The only other thing you'll notice here is this small port right here, and I'll go through that later, where we're going to plug in a USB connector in this that allows it to hook it to a PC and use a program called Charge Monitor to monitor your batteries that I spoke about earlier. And that's all that is on the side of the charger. Okay, so now we're all ready to go. We're going to take our battery here and plug our battery in. We're going to take our balancing port. This is a 3S battery. So, oops, I put the wrong connector on there. That's the thunder power. I need this one. Okay, in there. And we'll put in our 3S battery in there. Okay. Okay, so we're going to just use the top port right here. Let me zoom in a little bit for this. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, so you have a bunch of different buttons on here. Just stop, which is battery type, increase and decrease, and start and enter. And it's the same thing for all the different 4 batteries. They all work on the same method. They're different colors just to let you know which one is which. Okay, the default that comes on is a lipo charge, and it has the voltage. I can't remember exactly what it showed up when I first got it, but let me just go through the buttons and what each button does. Battery temp button just does what it says. You keep selecting this and it goes through the different battery selections. So you've got lipo, nickel metal hydride, Nicad, PB, lead, and you can do save data, load data, and then use a program. Let me just go quickly into user program. You hit start for user program, and then use your increase and decrease buttons to go through. So lipo, voltage type, input power, cutoff. These are the buzzers for key, beep, and buzzer. Capacity, cutoff. I actually have mine on at 6,000. My biggest battery is 5,000, so just a safety cutoff there. Safety timer, I have at 2 hours. You can turn that on or off, or change the safety timer. Waste time, and then USB temperature select. This is where you can enable either the temperature sensor, which I'll show you later on also, or you can enable the USB connector for charge monitor. In this particular charge channel, I actually have USB enabled, which I'll go over later. And Nicad sensitivity, nickel metal hydride sensitivity. These are just check times, and then back to lipo voltage. And then we hit start. You can go through the different statuses there. Okay, so let's go up to lithium battery. Hit start. It gives us to the lipoly menu. So once I'm ready for lipoly, I can hit the start button, and it lets me change how much amps. I'm doing a 3.3 battery right here. If you can see this, Turnigy 3.3 Turnigy, 3,300 milliamps. So I'm going to turn this down to 3.3. And we hit start. Now this is the voltage, so this is a 3S battery, but you can increase or decrease this. So this particular charger can go from 1S all the way up to 6S. So there's 6S, 5S, 4S, 3S, 2S, 1S. It also has an auto mode. So I'm going to go up to 3S, which is what my battery is. You hit start. Push and hold. It comes up, it does battery check. Right here it's just checking to make sure that it's saying that we have a 3S battery connected. The computer's saying it has a 3S battery connected. It's just confirming. Then we hit start, and it starts the charge. And that's basically it. That's basically how to get started in charging with this Quattro charger. The great thing is it'll allow you to do up to 4.5 amps on each channel with a 3S battery. With the 6S battery, it works on wattage, so it's I think it's 2 amps or so for a 6S battery. So I mostly use 3S batteries for my multicopters, and my T-Rex I use a 6S. But I use a different charger for the T-Rex anyway, so it's nice that it's a powerful charger to be able to do that many channels and that many amps on each channel. I've had 4 Turnigy 5,000 milliamp batteries connected, all doing the maximum amp rate at 4.5 amps, and it worked great. So when you want to stop it, you can just hit stop right there, and it stops the charge. And that's how you charge a lipoly with the Quattro multi-charger. Okay, the one thing I forgot to mention was the different charging modes. So in addition to being able to choose the different battery types that you can charge, you also have different charging modes. And once you're at this screen with the LiPo charge, you just use the decrease button to go through the different charging modes. So you can go discharge, LiPo storage, which puts the battery at a partial charge, sorry, and fast charge, which charges it at as fast as it can without worrying about balancing. It doesn't take it to a full charge though. And then there's balance charge, which is what I use all the time. I always balance my batteries with every charge. I just think it's the best thing to do to keep your batteries lasting longer. And then just regular LiPo charge. So when you go to charge your battery every time, I have to actually go through this menu and get to LiPo balance, and then I hit start. I increase or decrease my charge rate. I hit start again, and I'm usually at 3S, and then hit start right then. When you turn the charger on and off, and we'll turn it off real quick, and turn it back on again, it's not back on LiPo balance, so I have to hit go back to balance and then go from there. So just forgot to go cover basically the different charging modes, and that's it. Okay, one of the other things I'm going to show you is how to charge just a Nicad battery. And one of the accessories that you can actually get for this charger is this temperature sensor. I think Hobby King sells it on their website. I ended up getting mine just from eBay, one of the places on eBay. And this is by the way, this charger is basically the same exact charger as the iMax charger. So with this temperature sensor, in that plug that I showed you earlier, it plugs in on the side, and we're going to use this port right here. And you just plug it in just like a Futaba connector. Just plug that in there like that. Okay. And then I already went through here and under battery type, and I went through and got to Nicad. And then under Nicad it lets you change your current. Okay, so we're going to change my current. You can go up or down and change your current. Let's go to 4 amps. Then all we have to do is connect this actually has a Traxxas connector on it, and I have one of my homemade banana plugs with a Traxxas connector on it. One of the other accessories you can get from Hobby King, and I don't know, most people think this is ridiculous, but for a relatively, I think it was like $8 or $9, you can get this connector with banana plugs that's got, I don't know, 10 or 15 different connectors on it. The value of the connectors alone is worth more than what it costs for this thing. I'm not going to use it here, but it's nice to handy to have around, that if I come up across a battery that I don't have a connector for, that works awesome. Okay, so now let's just go ahead and connect my banana plug into there, and we're going to connect our battery. Oops. Onto there. So let's go ahead and start charging, but before I do that, let's go in through and set up the charger. So we're going to go through and hit this till we get to, oops, I went past it. Get the program, I'm going to hit start. Let me zoom in a little bit here for you. Oops, okay. We're going to go and keep hitting that until we got to our settings, so you can go up and down the menu here. So we're going to keep going till we get to temperature. So USB temperature select. Right now it's in temperature select cutoff. Right now I have it set for 32 degrees. So you can change that just by pushing this. And what this does is let you go between enabling the USB or the temperature cutoff. So we're going to leave it at temperature cutoff, and we're going to hit start, and that gives us to our temperature. Now we can increase or decrease our temperature. Let's go bring it up to 35, just so that I can demonstrate it here and show you how the temperature cutoff works. Okay, so you just hit start, and you keep going through your user menu here. We're going to go back to, oops, Nicad, and we hit start. And we hit start again. I already got my current selected. Hit start. That way I could change my current back and forth here. We push and hold. That starts the charger. And it quickly ramps up, gives us our voltage. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to back up the video here a little bit again. And I'm going to attach my temperature sensor here. It's got a little magnet on it, and it just works really good against the Nicad or nickel metal hydride batteries. And just to kind of demonstrate how the temperature works, I'm actually going to crank on my heat gun until you can see the temperature go off. Okay, there it goes. So the temperature sensor goes off and it stops charging, which is convenient for nickel metal hydride or Nicad batteries. So that's how charging Nicads works and how the temperature sensor works. Okay, so the other accessory that you can get for this charger that I found online that I did not find at Hobby King was this software package with a USB connector that allows you to use a program which is contained on this disc called Charge Monitor. And what it allows you to do is to connect this to the side of your charger and then connect this USB to the cable in your computer and basically monitor your battery's voltage and current and milliamp hours being charged live on the computer, which is kind of cool, and you can save the data. So I'm going to go through both how to connect it, get the charge monitor going, which I'm going to do on the computer, and I'll show you that at the same time. Okay, so now we're ready to load and set up the charge monitor software and connect our battery using the program. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take this little disc and load it in your computer, follow the instructions, and go through the setup. Here are the files that come on that disk. This is the setup file you're going to be running to run it. I'll go through the manual here real quick and show you basically what comes in the manual. So basically it shows you all the different chargers it works for. It doesn't show the actual IMAX charger that the Quattro is a copy of, but it just goes through, shows you how to set it up, how to load the software, going through all the different setups, and then shows you when to open up the program. One of the things it will ask you for is a serial number, which is an SN text file that is in that list of files that I showed you. You just continue through and it does your setup, and you go from there. Okay, so the next thing we have to do, just minimize that. Next thing we're going to have to do, here's the serial number file that you're going to need, and it comes on the disk and it just tells you the serial number that you have. And what you're going to have to do from there, before we start the charge monitor program, is we are going to connect our device. So first of all, you have to put this lead into the charger port that you're going to be using, and we only have two ports, either on charger 1 or charger 2. Just plug that in there. Okay, we'll connect our USB cable to that. Okay, I'm going to connect my battery to my balancing port. And I need my charge lead here for my battery. So there's that and that. Plug this into the battery. Okay. Let's move this out of the way. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Okay, this kind of just shows you that it's connected. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to open up the charge monitor program. And there it is right there. Save password up to 3300. And mine is on COM4. One of the parts of the setup you're going to have to go through and find out what COM port the USB device is connected to. Let's start. And you'll see here in a second it will showing that it's connected. So we're seeing right here that it's showing that it's connected. Okay. So the next thing you're going to have to do is go through your charger settings. Right now I already have it set up to charge at a 3.3 amps on my 3300 Turnkey battery. And so we're going to go through and hit start. Push and hold. Comes up, does battery check. Confirm to hit enter. And now we should start reading our battery voltages. So you can see, I'm going to zoom that in a little bit there. On the graph here, it's starting to graph the battery. So it's showing here our milliamps. Here we got our voltage. Temperature it's not monitoring. And it's monitoring our current. It cranked right up to that 3.3 amps that we had it set up. And here it's showing the individual cell voltages, cell 1, cell 2, and cell 3. So basically that's how you use the charge monitor program. The other thing you can do is go into, that's the overview window, you can go to the detail window and see each one of these. So right now we're looking at voltage, detail the voltage. You can go into the detail of the current. Very hard to see that little faint little line right there, but that's the current line right there. And then capacity. It's just showing, obviously, it's cranking up capacity. So we'll go back to voltage. We're going to go back to overview. And you can see that the number on the screen on here should match the number that's on the computer. So that says 78, 79, and you can see over here it's 80. It's just matching that number. So 11.47 volts, and it's 11.47 over here. So it's reading exactly like it says. I'm going to come back in a little bit after it's almost done charging so you can see the full charge graph. Okay, now that it has finished charging and it comes up and says monitor completed. As you can see also on the charger here, it's full and it shows our voltage, our time, and our capacity 2127, which is the same on the computer over here. So I just click this OK, and basically just shows us our graph of capacity, shows us our voltage graph and where it goes up and topped off, and then it shows our current. I'm not sure what this little blip was there in the middle of the charge pattern there, but basically it just shows the current, and then at the very end it starts to drop off obviously, and it tapers down to put the battery to capacity. And up here it shows us that our 3 cells are very close in voltage, and basically that's it. That's the charge monitor. So I highly recommend this charger. I've had it for about 2 weeks now. I've been very happy with it, and every once in a while I'll pull out the charge monitor if I'm having a problem with the battery and graph it. So that's that.